Hello, this is Tanner. I'm a little sick right now, so I apologize for my voice. Um, Today I wanted to show off a little thing that I created. Um, Essentially, it is a base for like a base model for a Terraria Starbound style game. So what we have here in this project file, obviously we have random terrain, which includes ores and stone and such as well. So you can see there's a random patch of stone that's generated here in the terrain. It's very basic terrain generation, but a lot can be done with it. I'm using Perla Noise or a Perla Noise-esque script that I had found online, as GameMaker doesn't have noise built in. So what we have here is we have Perla Noise generated terrain. We have the ability to auto tile. So as you see here, as I destroy blocks, the tiles automatically update. This is a 16 tile auto tile using bitwise or bit masking, which means that this isn't going to look great on just every tile that you use. You really do have to design them in a specific way. So if you notice here, where the top of the grass is, there's a pretty harsh line where the grass meets the next dirt block. But if we're talking in terms of just stone, in general, this auto tile looks pretty good just simply because of the way that I designed it. But yeah, so we have terrain, we have auto tiling, and the last thing we have is lighting. So you can notice there's this dark shadow going through all the blocks. And if I right click, I can actually create a light source here. So if I place this light source somewhere in the world, you'll see it places down that block right there and gives us this orangey yellow glow right here that takes away from the actual shadow mask. The reason I created this is because I have been trying ever since I started programming in GameMaker Studio. I've been trying to figure out a way to do this that wasn't extremely complicated, because this can easily become an extremely complicated and CPU intensive task. So essentially the way that I did it was by drawing a black rectangle all the way across the screen, and anywhere where there is a light source or an empty tile, I will actually draw a white circle, what we call a radial gradient. So it's more opaque in the center and it's less opaque towards the outside. So it's basically just a circle that's been heavily blurred. And we just draw that circle in every single spot where there is an empty tile or where there is a light source. This is not the most efficient way to do it. There's several ways to do it using just shaders alone. I'm not an experienced shader programmer, which is why I went with this approach. And it's worked for me fairly well. This is a very small terrain. One thing I do not have added in this extension is chunking. But if you were to purchase the extension and you wanted to turn this into a full-scale game, you would definitely want to implement a chunking system and make it to where auto tiles and light sources also work between chunks as well, which gets more complicated. But I wanted to give a pretty baseline start for anybody else who ended up in the same boat as me, where they were struggling to find good information on this topic. Auto tiling and terrain is something I've been doing for a long time, so that was no big deal. The really difficult thing to try to understand and try to figure out was actually the lighting. But like I said, it's just a black rectangle with white circles drawn in every single spot where there is a light source coming from, and then using a multiplying blend mode to actually make the white transparent, so it actually smoothly fades down into this black. I do have a shader applied to this system for blurring, because if you don't blur, even though it is a smooth blurred circle, it will still look a little bit sharp. So I actually do use a blur shader to make this even smoother. It's not necessary, but it just achieves a better look. Um, but yeah, this extension is for sale on itch.io. It is, I believe I set it to $4.99, so it's pretty affordable for somebody who's never done anything like this, who really wants to make a game like this. And it's a great start. And I have everything very well documented, so you can go through and really get to understand the system, how the code works, and everything like that. And you might learn a thing or two. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this, and I really hope that this extension helps you out in your adventure making a game like this. And yeah, stay tuned for more goodness to come, and I'll have more Bread Worlds updates coming soon, I promise. But I will see you guys in the next one. Later.